My child, if you are sitting alone right now, holding back tears or crying in a silence so deep that it aches, do not scroll away. I am speaking to you immediately, right in the middle of your heavy heart. This message did not find you by accident, and it is no coincidence that you felt a sudden pull to stop and listen. Heaven has arranged this exact second for you, because I heard the quiet cry of your spirit before a single tear even fell from your eyes. You may feel like no one understands the immense weight you are carrying. You might be hiding your struggles behind a brave face, smiling for the world while your soul feels completely exhausted, lost, and broken. But hear me clearly, you are not invisible, you are not forgotten, and your pain is not ignored. I see the quiet battles you fight every single night when the room goes dark, the noise stops, and the distractions finally fade away. I see the moments when you bite your lip, trying to hold it all together, wondering if anyone would even notice if you simply stop trying. The world may only see the strong version of you, the one who shows up and takes care of everyone else, but I see the tired version of you. I see the version of you that just wants to be held, to be understood, and to be told that everything is going to be all right. I am here to tell you exactly that. I am here with you right now, closer than your very breath, wrapping my arms around your weary soul. Do not skip this message, because what I am about to say is going to shift the heavy atmosphere surrounding your life. The enemy wants you to believe that you are crying for nothing, that your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling, and that I have turned my back on you in your time of greatest need. That is a lie designed to keep you trapped in despair and anxiety. I have never left your side, not in your deepest sorrow, not in your longest night. Stay with me for just a little while longer. Let the noise of the world quiet down, and let my comforting presence fill the empty space around you. I am about to reveal why this season of silent crying was not sent to destroy you, but to prepare you for the greatest breakthrough of your entire life. Keep listening carefully, my beloved, because heaven is actively moving on your behalf today. My child, I know exactly how heavy the silence feels when you are sitting all alone with your thoughts. I know the overwhelming exhaustion that washes over you when you have to pretend everything is perfectly fine, while inside your heart feels like it is shattering into a million pieces. You have grown so used to being the strong one for everyone else. You listen to their problems, you carry their burdens, and you offer them the comfort that you so desperately crave for yourself. But when the day ends and you are finally alone, the weight of it all comes crashing down. You cry in silence because you do not want to be a burden to anyone. You keep your struggles hidden because you are afraid that no one will truly understand, or worse, that no one will even care. But I care. I have always cared. Every single tear that has fallen from your eyes in the secrecy of your room has been seen by heaven. The world might measure your strength by how well you hide your pain, but I see the quiet endurance of your spirit. Your silent tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a profound language that only I can fully translate. When you do not have the words to pray, when anxiety chokes your voice and all you can do is weep, your tears speak directly to my heart. I catch every drop. I feel every ounce of your sorrow. You have never wept into an empty void. You have been weeping into the hands of a Father who loves you more fiercely than you could ever comprehend. Listen to me very carefully right now. The enemy wants to use this quiet season of isolation to convince you that you are entirely on your own. He whispers lies into your mind, telling you that your future is hopeless, that your best days are behind you, and that the pain you are feeling right now is permanent. He wants you to stay locked in that room of despair, drowning in overthinking and fear. But I am speaking to you today to break those chains of deception. The silence you are experiencing is not a punishment. This isolation is not a rejection from heaven. I have allowed the noise of the world to fade away so that my voice can finally reach you without interference. Stay here with me. Do not let your mind wander, because what I am about to reveal will completely change how you see your current struggle. My beloved child, I want you to understand something crucial about the heavy silence you have been experiencing. You have prayed so many times, asking me to take the pain away, begging for a sign, for a breakthrough, for just a single whisper to let you know you are still on the right path. When the answer did not come immediately, when the heavens felt completely still and your room stayed quiet, your heart sank. You thought I was ignoring you. You thought your prayers were not good enough, or worse, that you were not worthy of my response. But I need you to erase that lie from your mind right now. My silence was never, ever my absence. Sometimes before a massive breakthrough arrives, heaven goes incredibly quiet. This is not because I have abandoned you, but because I am doing a deep, profound work behind the scenes, a work that requires absolute stillness. I am moving pieces into place that you cannot see. I am clearing out the wrong people, the wrong opportunities, and the hidden distractions that would have ultimately hurt you. What you have perceived as a painful, agonizing delay is actually my divine protection wrapping tightly around your life. The suffering you are enduring right now, the tears you are crying in the middle of the night, they are not a sign of my anger or rejection. They are the fire of refinement. I am strengthening your spirit. I am expanding your capacity to hold the immense blessings that I am preparing to pour out upon you. If I had given you what you asked for, when you first asked for it, you would not have been ready to sustain it. The weight of the blessing would have crushed you. I know the waiting hurts deeply. I know it feels like everyone else is moving forward while you are left behind, stuck in this dark, silent room of uncertainty. But please, my child, trust my perfect timing. You are not stuck. You are being anchored. The roots of your faith are growing deeper into my unconditional love, so that when the storms of life come, you will not be moved. Stay with me in this moment. Do not let the silence convince you that you are forgotten. What is happening right now in the unseen realm is far greater, far more beautiful than the pain you are feeling in the physical one. Your breakthrough is being carefully crafted, and the silent tears you weep today are watering the seeds of your glorious tomorrow. My beloved child, as you sit in this quiet space, I need you to recognize the spiritual warfare that has been surrounding your mind. The reason the attacks on your thoughts have been so intense lately, the reason you have felt so overwhelmingly anxious and tempted to just give up, is because a shift is coming. The enemy sees the beautiful future I have prepared for you, and he is terrified. He knows that your waiting season is ending. Because the enemy cannot stop what I planned for you, he is trying to do the only thing he can. He wants you distracted. He wants to fill your mind with so much doubt, fear, and overthinking that you walk away right before the miracle happens. Do not believe the lies. The enemy whispers in the dark, telling you that your prayers are useless, that you are not good enough, and that this heavy burden is your permanent reality. He uses your exhaustion against you, trying to convince you that the silent tears you cry mean you have been defeated. But I am telling you today, the battle did not destroy you. You survived because I never let go. I was holding you when you thought you would break. Fear is not your future. The anxiety that keeps you awake at night does not have the final say over your destiny. I am asking you to stand firm right now. Wipe those tears from your eyes and take a deep breath. You are closer than you think. Right in the middle of your exhaustion, I am working behind the scenes. I am opening doors no one can shut. The things that were stolen from your life, the The peace, the joy, the years you feel were completely wasted. What was stolen will be restored. Your breakthrough is near, and what felt like an endless delay was actually my divine protection. Do not let the enemy steal your hope in this final hour. Hold on tightly to my promise, because a new season is about to begin. My child, in this moment of profound stillness, I want to gently rebuild the foundation of who you truly are. The world has tried so hard to define you by your mistakes, your lowest moments, and the seasons where you felt you fell completely short. The enemy has used your silent tears to whisper that you are damaged, unworthy, or unlovable. But heaven does not measure your worth by your struggles, your failures, or your past. Heaven sees you as a deeply loved, chosen, and cherished child. When your name is spoken in my presence, it is not spoken with disappointment or regret. It is spoken with immense joy, unconditional love, and a divine, unshakable purpose. You have spent so much time feeling like you are not enough, letting the echoes of rejection and the harsh judgments of others dictate your self-worth. But I am wiping all of those false labels away today. You are my beautiful masterpiece, intricately designed and purposefully placed in this exact moment in history. I know that the pain you have endured in silence has made you question your value. You have cried yourself to sleep wondering if the people who walked away from you took a piece of your worth with them when they left. Let me be very clear. No human being has the power to diminish the value I have placed upon your life. The rejection you faced was never a reflection of your inadequacy. It was my sovereign redirection. I was carefully removing those who could not appreciate the depth of your heart, those who were simply not equipped or meant to accompany you into this next glorious chapter of your destiny. Do not weep over those closed doors or the empty spaces they left behind. What felt like a painful abandonment was actually my hand of protection shielding you from further heartbreak. Right now, I am pouring my healing love into the deepest cracks of your broken spirit. I am mending the parts of your heart that feel bruised, battered, and beyond repair. You need to understand that you do not have to earn my affection. You do not have to perform, pretend, or be perfectly put together to be held by my grace. I love you exactly as you are, in your mess, in your tears, and in your deep exhaustion. Release the heavy burden of trying to prove yourself to a world that does not know your spirit. Let this truth sink deep into your soul today. You are entirely worthy, you are handpicked, and you are fiercely protected by the Creator of the universe. Breathe in my peace, my beloved, and let the truth of your heavenly identity wash away every lingering doubt. My child, as you receive this healing truth, I want you to look back at the tears you have shed, not as a waste, but as a cleansing stream. You have often asked me why the road had to be this painful, why you had to endure the stabbing ache of betrayal, disappointment, and loneliness. You felt as though the fire was burning you away to nothing, but I want you to see what I see. I did not allow the fire to consume you. I allowed it to consume the chains that were holding you back. The pain you survived was shaping you, not destroying you. You are emerging from this dark valley, not weaker, but infinitely stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. Every tear you cried in that quiet room was washing away the old layers of fear, insecurity, and false dependencies that kept your spirit bound to the expectations of this world. You thought you were breaking, but in reality, you were breaking free. Now I am giving you specific instructions for this present season. Do not rush out of the stillness, out of panic or a desperate desire to escape the quiet. Do not try to force open doors that I have firmly closed for your protection. And do not run back to places and people where your spirit was broken just because they feel familiar. This quiet hour requires your complete trust and surrender. When anxiety tries to grip your heart and tells you to move frantically, I need you to stand completely still and breathe in my supernatural peace. Let go of the need to figure out every detail of your future. You do not need to see the entire map to know that I am leading you to a beautiful destination. All you need to do today is take my hand and trust the next small step. Stop replaying the scenarios of how things went wrong and stop trying to fix what only my grace can mend. Look at your hands, my beloved. They may feel weary and empty right now, but they are being prepared to receive something far greater than what you lost. I am shifting your perspective from mourning to expectation. The season of weeping in secrecy is drawing to a close, and a season of public restoration is beginning to dawn on your life. Let the heavy sorrow lift from your chest right now. I am replacing the spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise. Open your heart to the hope that is rising within your soul, because I am turning your silent cries into shouts of victory. The tears that watered your pillow in the dark are now watering the ground of your greatest breakthrough. Trust the process, my child, for I am with you in every single breath. My child, as we sit together in this sanctuary of peace, I want to talk to you about the walls you have built around your heart. I know exactly why you built them. You built them to protect yourself from being hurt, disappointed, or betrayed again. You built them after the people you trusted walked away, and after the world misjudged your purest intentions. You thought that if you kept everyone at a distance, if you buried your feelings deep inside and cried only in absolute secrecy, no one could ever pierce your soul again. But those very walls that kept the pain out have also kept you locked inside a dark prison of isolation. You have become a prisoner of your own defenses, loihoi, and trapped in a loop of silent suffering. Today, I am here to gently dismantle those walls brick by brick, not to expose or judge you, but to set your spirit completely free. I need you to let down your guard in my presence. You do not have to pretend to be strong here, and you do not have to wear a mask of perfection. I see the heavy burdens you carry when you are alone at home, and I know how exhausting it is to maintain that fortress of isolation. Rejection from the world may have pushed you away, but my unconditional love is drawing you close right now. I am pouring a holy oil over your deepest emotional wounds, soothing the places where you were scarred by the words and actions of others. Let go of the bitterness, the resentment, and the quiet anxiety that you have harbored in the dark corners of your soul. Those negative emotions are a heavy weight that belongs to a past that is over. They have no place in the bright new season I am opening for you. Listen to the steady rhythm of my voice, my beloved child. The enemy wants you to stay hidden in the dark, believing that you are completely cut off from love and intimacy. He wants you to think that your sensitivity is a weakness and that you will always be lonely. But I am redefining this silence for you today. This is not isolation. It is a sacred intimacy. This is the quiet place where your soul learns to depend fully on me, away from the loud expectations, opinions, and draining demands of others. I am filling every empty space in your room with my tangible presence, transforming your loneliness into an unshakable peace. Rest your weary head and feel my steady hand on your life. You are completely safe, you are profoundly loved, and you are never walking through this life alone again, my beloved child. Look at how far you have walked through the dark without completely collapsing. I know the exact moments when a heavy wave of shame tries to settle over your chest as you look at the walls of your quiet room. The enemy loves to trap your mind in the exhausting cycle of comparison. He whispers cruel thoughts into your ear, forcing you to look at the people around you, those who seem to be sailing smoothly through life, whose laughter echoes loudly, whose relationships look perfect, and whose hands never seem to be empty or tired. You watch them move forward while you feel completely stagnant, stuck in this dark valley of silent weeping. You ask yourself, why is my path so full of painful thorns? Why am I the only one who has to bleed in secret just to survive the day? But I am here to lift your chin and look directly into your tear-stained eyes today. You must stop comparing your behind-the-scenes refinement with their highlighted reels. The world sees the glittering surface, but I see the foundations. You do not see the hollow voids those people try to fill with constant noise, and you do not know the shallow roots of what they have built without my hands. I did not call you to live a surface-level, artificial life. I called you into the deep waters of spiritual maturity, and deep waters require a profoundly broken, heavily anchored spirit. Stop measuring your worth by the speed of others. Speed means absolutely nothing if you are running frantically in the wrong direction. Your life is not lagging behind. Your timing is perfectly, beautifully synchronized with the absolute heartbeat of heaven. Look closely at your own body, my child. Look at the weary, deep lines around your eyes, the faint doimo of time, and the subtle tremor in your hands when the anxiety peaks and chokes your breath. The enemy wants you to look in the mirror and see a broken, defeated soul that has been passed over by grace. But when heaven looks at you, we see the sacred marks of a resilient warrior who has survived a brutal spiritual winter. Every wrinkle from your silent grief is a map of endurance. I am shifting your environment right now, in this very second. The people who made you feel like you were too difficult to love, those who treated your tender heart as an inconvenience, and those who weaponized your vulnerability. I have intentionally, sovereignly removed them from your circle. Do not chase after their fading shadows, and do not beg for scraps of affection from doors I have closed. I am filling your silent room with a supernatural fragrance of peace that no human validation could ever replicate. Your tears are turning into an unbreakable armor, my beloved. Rest in this understanding and let the spirit of shame melt away in my heavy, undeniable embrace. My beloved child, take a deep breath right now. Let your shoulders drop and release the immense tension that you have been carrying in your chest for far too long. You have become so accustomed to survival mode that you do not even realize how tightly you are gripping your own life. You wake up with a heavy heart, walk through the day carrying an invisible mountain, and go to bed with a mind that refuses to shut down. You have been running on empty, trying to fuel your journey with sheer willpower and anxious striving. You tell yourself, if I just push a little harder, if I just solve this one problem, then I can finally rest. But the cycle never ends, and the burdens only seem to grow heavier, leaving you weeping in the quiet corners of your home. Today, I am speaking to you to completely break that exhausting cycle and introduce you to a supernatural rest that this world can never duplicate. You were never created to carry the weight of your entire world on your own back. You were never meant to figure out every single equation of your future, or to fix every broken situation by your own limited strength. When you try to bear the heavy loads that belong only to my sovereign hands, you end up bruised, battered, and utterly depleted. This is why you find yourself crying in silence, feeling like an absolute failure, because you cannot control the outcome of your circumstances. Hear me clearly today. Surrendering to me is not an admission of defeat. It is the ultimate expression of your faith. I am asking you to lay down the heavy bags of worry, fear, and financial regret at my feet right now. Hand over the broken pieces of your life that you have been desperately trying to glue back together. Let go of the illusion of control and allow my almighty arms to take over the battle. Listen to the absolute stillness of this moment, my child. The enemy wants to keep you trapped in a state of perpetual panic, convincing you that if you stop worrying, everything will fall apart around you. But I am telling you that when you step back, I step in. When you finally cease your striving, my supernatural grace begins to flow effortlessly. I am covering your environment right now with a blanket of divine peace that surpasses all human understanding. Your current situation may not change in the blink of an eye, but your heart is being supernaturally anchored. You can rest tonight knowing that the one who watches over you never slumbers or sleeps. The storm may still be raging outside your window, but inside your soul, a deep, unshakable calm is taking root. Trust my love, trust my protection, and let your weary spirit rest completely in my heavy, undeniable embrace. My beloved child, as you sit in this profound stillness, looking around the four familiar walls of your room and feeling your chest tighten with silent, unuttered sobs, I want you to pause and listen deeply. Do not try to run away from this moment, and do not let anxiety lead your mind into the dead ends of despair. I am right here beside you, seeing into every broken and bleeding corner of your wounded soul. The world may see you smile. They may think you are completely fine because you are always the strong pillar for everyone else. But I am different. I see the dry tear stains on your cheeks every night, and I hear the heavy, helpless sighs as you face the chilling loneliness in your own home. You chose to cry in silence because you were afraid of opening up, afraid of judgment, and terrified that your compassion would once again be wounded and exploited by others. I want you to look closely at your own body right now to recognize the sacred signs that I have destined for you. Those lines deepening on your forehead, the faint age spots appearing on your thin hands, and that heavy, suffocating feeling in your chest whenever you face the pressures of life. All of these are not merely the marks of time or aging. They are a physical map of the fierce spiritual battles your soul has silently endured through all these years. Your shoulders are so weary because you have been carrying burdens that do not belong to you, trying to maintain your pride and dignity before the world, while inside you are completely empty and depleted. You have tried to be so self-reliant, so independent, to the point of isolating yourself on a lonely island. But my child, I did not create you to suffer alone in the dark like this. Imagine your soul as a system of divine pathways, a sacred flow that has been clogged by the debris of betrayal, the toxins of past pain, and the resentment toward those who turned their backs on you. When a vessel is clogged, the pressure builds up until it feels ready to burst. That is the exact feeling of being stuck, depressed, and overthinking that you experience every day. Those hot tears you are secretly wiping away right now are the pure, refreshing waters I am using to clear out, cleanse, and dissolve the rust that has been eating away at your faith. My silence during this time was not an abandonment, but a serious preparation behind the scenes. I have intentionally allowed the toxic noise to vanish, allowed the wrong doors to close, and even removed hypocritical people from your life so that my flow of grace can pour into you in its purest form without interference from anyone. In this very second, an unimaginable and terrifying divine turnaround is being executed in your spiritual realm. The enemy thought it had imprisoned you in shame and isolation, but it does not know that this is the very launching pad for the greatest revolution of your life. I am activating your supernatural healing, restoring everything that was stolen from you, from your physical health, the clarity of your mind, to the peace in your soul, and even the financial opportunities you thought were completely wasted. You will no longer have to live in fear of an uncertain future or worry about becoming a ganang to anyone. I give you back your freedom, your hope, and a completely new power of control over your destiny. Let go of the overconfidence of your old self, lower your weary shield of defense, and let me hold you tight. You are entirely worthy of being loved, cherished, and protected as my precious child. If you feel my warm light creeping in and soothing the pain in your chest right now, interact with me by writing in the comments, "I let go of all burdens and receive the love of my Father," as a powerful affirmation of faith to activate the miracle. Share this message with those souls who are also crying in the dark. For when you give compassion, your flow of blessings will become endless. Rest peacefully tonight, my beloved child, for the dawn of total restoration has begun to shine upon your life. I am always here, holding you fast and never letting go. My beloved child, do not move from this spot, because the spiritual revolution I am initiating in your life right now is going to be swift, sudden, and completely undeniable. You have spent years retreating into the background, allowing others to take the spotlight, while you silently wept in the dark corners of your home. You watched people who possessed none of your integrity, none of your deep compassion, and none of your pure heart elevate themselves through pride and manipulation. The enemy whispered that you were a fool for being honest, that your humility was just a sign of weakness, and that you would always be left behind, swallowed up by your own silent suffering. But I am the God of the ultimate plot twist, the master of the divine turnaround, and I am about to stage a revolution in your life that will leave those who doubted you completely astonished. I have kept you hidden in the secret valley of testing, not to erase you, but to protect you until the exact moment of your public vindication. You have carried your scars with a quiet dignity, never seeking revenge against those who slandered your name or treated you like an afterthought. You chose peace over retaliation, even when your chest burned with the agonizing pain of being deeply misunderstood. Hear my voice clearly today. I am taking over your defense. You no longer need to fight to prove your worth to anyone, because I am preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Those who threw you away as if you were disposable will look at you and see the unmistakable radiance of my glory resting heavily upon your shoulders. They will witness the very person they tried to break rise up with unprecedented strength, authority, and joy. Look at your hands once more, my child. They have been emptied of the wrong things so that they could be completely unburdened for the massive harvest that is arriving at your doorstep. The tears that have stained your pillow in the isolation of your room were not tokens of your defeat. They were the spiritual currency of a supernatural breakthrough. I am turning the tide of your circumstances right now, changing your mourning into dancing, and replacing your heavy sighing with songs of absolute victory. This is not a slow, gradual shift. It is a sudden, shocking interruption of grace that will completely dismantle every limitation the enemy tried to place on your family, your health, and your destiny. If you can feel this divine spark of faith igniting inside your spirit right now, declare it boldly by commenting, "I claim my sudden divine turnaround today, and allow my overwhelming presence to carry you into this magnificent new dawn." My beloved child, look at the horizon of your life right now, for the days of slow, agonizing waiting are officially over. You have wept in secret for so long, watching the years slip through your fingers like sand, feeling as though time has been your cruelest enemy. The enemy has tried to torment your mind by telling you that you have wasted too much time, that your health, your dreams, and your finances are too far gone to ever recover. You sit alone at home, counting the losses, feeling the faint tremor of anxiety in your hands as you look toward an uncertain tomorrow. But I am the Lord of time and seasons, and I am introducing a supernatural acceleration into your environment today. What should take years for a human to rebuild, I am going to manifest in the blink of an eye. I am compressing time for you, making up for every single second you spent drowning in the dark valley of silent tears. Hear my promise clearly. I am not just restoring what you lost, I am multiplying it. I am releasing a divine compensation that will make the memory of your past pain completely fade away in the light of your new joy. For every year the locusts of depression and loneliness have eaten, I will give you a decade of unprecedented favor, overflowing peace and unbreakable stability. You will experience a momentum so powerful that it will feel completely non-traditional, unexpected, and shocking to those who watched you struggle. Those who saw you crying in silence will now see you walking in an abundance of grace that they cannot comprehend. You do not need to strive or force your way forward anymore. My favor is going to outrun you, opening doors of breakthrough before you even have the chance to knock. I am aligning your circumstances in this very moment. The financial blockages that kept your chest tight with worry are being cleared out by my sovereign hand. The physical weariness that made your body feel heavy and old is being replaced by a supernatural, youthful strength. You are stepping into a beautiful reality where you will no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck or heartbreak to heartbreak. I am anchoring your future in absolute security. If your spirit recognizes this heavy downpour of divine favor and acceleration, stand firmly in your faith and declare it by writing in the comments, I receive God's supernatural acceleration and abundance today. Let go of the old timeline of lack, my child, and step boldly into the magnificent overflow I have prepared exclusively for you. My beloved child, as this powerful shift cements itself into your life, I want you to understand the supreme hedge of protection that is being locked into place around you right now. You have spent a long time feeling entirely unprotected, exposed to the harsh winds of life, and vulnerable to the cold betrayals of those you held dear. You cried in silence because you felt like a target, constantly hit by one wave of trouble after another, wondering when the onslaught would finally stop. But hear my voice today. I am establishing myself as your fortress, an impenetrable shield of glory that no weapon formed against you can ever penetrate. The days of you being an open target for the enemy's schemes, for malicious gossip, or for emotional manipulation are permanently over. I am placing a divine boundary around your household, your mind, and your health. Every dark assignment that was sent to break your spirit, to steal your joy, or to lock you in a state of perpetual fear is being cancelled in my heavenly courtroom this very second. You are no longer fighting for victory. You are walking in the victory that has already been won for you. Look at the scars you carry. They are no longer open wounds. They are trophies of honor, showing that you survived the worst the enemy could throw at you, and you are still standing. I am giving you a new spiritual authority. When you speak, your words will carry weight. When you pray, heaven will move instantly. The quiet room where you used to weep in isolation is being transformed into a war room of power, a sacred space where strategy and breakthroughs are born. Listen to the heavy quietness of my presence surrounding you now. The enemy wants you to remain small, timid, and trembling in the dark, hoping you never realize the power that rests inside you as my child. But I am waking up the lion inside your spirit today. I am removing the spirit of timidity and clothing you with supernatural boldness and a sound mind. You will no longer shrink back in the presence of intimidation, and you will no longer allow the shadows of your past to dictate the size of your future. I have set before you an open door of destiny that no human being, no critic, and no demon can ever shut. If you can feel this shield of divine protection wrapping tightly around your soul right now, claim your authority by typing in the comments, "The Lord is my fortress, and I am fiercely protected." Rest deeply under the shadow of my wings, my beloved child, for you are completely safe, untouchable, and deeply loved, my beloved child. Look at yourself through my eyes in this very moment. I see the silver in your hair, the profound wisdom etched into the gentle lines of your face, and the quiet grace in your posture. The world looks at these physical signs and falsely calls it the fading of youth. But heaven looks at you and sees the crowning glory of an enduring warrior. The silent tears you have wept in the secrecy of your home were not meant to wash your strength away. They were refining your spirit to carry a heavy generational legacy. You have survived the isolation, the crushing anxiety, and the dark nights of overthinking, because your story is not meant to end in a closed room. Your life is being supernaturally transformed into a living testament of my grace, a powerful blueprint of survival for the generations that are watching you. I am shifting your assignment from the hidden valley of preparation into a season of visible manifestation. You have been broken in secret so that you can be displayed as a masterpiece of restoration in the light. The deep empathy and compassion you developed while sitting alone with your pain are now the very tools I will use to heal others through you. I am appointing you as a divine lighthouse in a dark, stormy world. The people who are currently drowning in the same sea of depression, financial stress, and loneliness that you just escaped will look at your life and find hope. When they see the joy radiating from your eyes and the supernatural peace resting upon your household, they will know that the God who saved you can also save them. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are an ambassador of my future. Listen to the sovereign decree of heaven over your destiny today. I am pouring out a fresh anointing, a holy oil of joy that will completely replace the spirit of heaviness that once paralyzed your soul. The years you thought were completely lost to grief and silent weeping are being woven into a beautiful tapestry of purpose. Every painful memory is being rewritten by my grace to serve as a weapon of authority against the enemy's lies. You do not have to wonder if your life still matters or if your best days are behind you. Your greatest chapter is being written right now in this exact season of divine alignment. If your heart is ready to step out of the shadows and become a beacon of hope for others, seal this holy assignment by typing in the comments, "I am a lighthouse of God's grace, and my legacy begins today." Stand tall, my beautiful child, for the darkness has officially lost its grip on your life. My beloved child, we have reached the sacred culmination of this divine appointment, and I want you to feel the eternal weight of what has shifted in your quiet room today. You walked into this space carrying an invisible, suffocating mountain of sorrow. You were a soul weeping in absolute secrecy, loi hoi, and trapped in a loop of silent suffering, wondering if your existence even mattered to the heavens. But you are leaving this moment completely transformed, fiercely protected, and beautifully clothed in my sovereign glory. This message was never a random encounter. It was a rescue mission, orchestrated by my unconditional love to pull you out of the dark prison of isolation. The heavy chains of overthinking, depression, and silent torment have been permanently broken, shattered by the unstoppable frequency of my voice. Your tears have done their holy work, and the dry, barren ground of your life is now overflowing with the fresh, living waters of my grace. As you prepare to step into this magnificent new season, I am placing my final seal of blessing upon your forehead, your home, and your destiny. I am decreeing over your life an unbreakable covenant of peace, that no earthly storm, or demonic assignment can ever disrupt. You will no longer walk through this world with a timid, trembling spirit, because you know exactly who holds your hand. I am going before you to smooth out every crooked path, to level every mountain of financial lack, and to manifest breakthroughs that will utterly baffle the minds of those who witnessed your lowest points. The days of you crying yourself to sleep are officially over. From this day forward, when you look in the mirror, you will not see a victim of hidden hurts or fading youth. You will see a radiant, chosen warrior of the Most High, destined for greatness and anchored in perfect security. Listen closely to my final instructions, my beautiful child. Do not look back at the shadows of your past. Do not validate the ghosts of your regrets. And do not allow the enemy's whispers to make you doubt the reality of what you have received here today. Your miracle is already in motion. An historic divine turnaround is unfolding in your environment. To lock in this supernatural inheritance and declare your absolute victory before heaven and earth, interact with me one last time by typing Amen in the comments and write down, I receive my Father's eternal covenant of peace and restoration. Share this powerful video immediately with someone who is still trapped in the heavy silence you just broke, and support our sacred work by subscribing to this channel and donating through Super Thanks, so we can continue bringing happiness, devotion, and divine strength to weary souls across the world. Rest your mind completely tonight, my beloved child. The battle is won. Your tears are turned into triumph, and I will remain with you through every glorious step that follows. You are forever mine, you are deeply valued, and you are never, ever alone. Amen.